biggest hurdle that you have to overcome as a creator, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for a while, is answering the question, who am I? What is your identity as a creator? Whether you are building a personal brand, you are posting content for your business, you are promoting yourself as an artist or performer, or you're just creating for fun, you are going to be faced with this question because the first thing you have to figure out is, what do I post? What do I say? And this comes with all kinds of head trash. Who am I to be talking about X, Y, and Z? What do I have to say? What does my life matter? Well, guess what? You have more expertise than you think. And that's exactly what changes when you get clarity on your identity as a creator. You figure out exactly what you want to say. You figure out how to say it with confidence. And when you can know what you want to say it with confidence, you're not going to have all these excuses in your head about why you can't start. Having to have all the knowledge, having to have the perfect gear, having to have the perfect setup, thinking you have to have the best script writing skills, the best editing skills, the best software. You just take action when you know what you want to say. And from an internal level, you will stop doubting yourself, you will start believing in yourself, and you will build confidence not only in yourself, but in the skill of creating, of getting on camera, of posting content. So today I'm going to be walking you through the 3 core elements of being a full-time creator. So if you want to be a full-time creator and have and experience all the things I just described, confidence, the ability to stay consistent, the overcoming self-doubt, uncomplicating the process, building that true freedom, the financial freedom, the creative freedom, all that freedom that you are seeking as a creator. The way that you build that is by tuning in, getting clear, and getting aligned on the 3 core elements that we are going to talk about today. So let's get into it. If you're new here, why the heck should you listen to me? My name's Hallee. I've been a full-time creator since 2020 when I grew my following to over 1.8 million online. And since then, I've been learning the do's and don'ts. But I always start with this part because I believe it is the most important part. You are the creator. As a content creator, you are the lifeblood, the inspiration for the entire business and the brand. And so if you're not clear on your identity, how you're showing up, what you want to say, the parts of yourself that you want to shine forward intentionally, then it's not going to work out. It's not going to be aligned. It's not going to be authentic. Or you're going to be doing something for a while and realize, wait, this isn't me. And then you're going to fall off and lose that consistency. So the way that most people approach social media misses the you part. This is essentially, who are you? That's a big question. It sounds deep, and it is. I'm asking you, who are you as a human? But that's the thing about being a creator and an entrepreneur, is that it is a self-development journey. It is a self-improvement journey. You are forced to face the parts of yourself that you need to overcome. You are forced to learn more about yourself. And in this case, building a personal brand, creating content, you are intentionally taking parts of yourself, you're tapping into your experiences, your beliefs, your values, your point of view, and how you see the world, and you're infusing it into your content to make it unique, to make it you. That is why this piece, this pillar, is so, so crucial. Not only for your own stability, your own consistency, your own clarity, but also the world needs more individual people who are uniquely themselves and not trying to fit some mold or be like everyone else. First thing that you need to understand, and you may have been creating for a long time and still not have clarity on this. I didn't at first. I still am constantly figuring this out and getting clarity on this identity piece because we're humans. it's always changing. So whether you're just starting out as a creator, you have been a creator for a long time, or you're somewhere in the middle, this piece is something you always are going to need to check in with, to revisit, and to make sure that you are in alignment on. So that is the you pillar. This is your identity, and this is who are you. So think about, what are your experiences? What are you good at? What do you enjoy talking about? What are you curious about? What do you believe about the world? What does the world need more of? These are the types of questions you have to start asking yourself in order to get clear on your identity as a creator. Second pillar is your audience. Whether we realize it or not, we are in the entertainment business. When you're posting online, you're speaking to an audience, and it may not feel that way because you're talking to a camera, you're talking to an inanimate object, or maybe it feels like you're talking to yourself. But you are ultimately, at the end of the line, talking to an audience, because when you post online, people virtually watch you. There are eyeballs on you. So you have to understand, and you can't completely forget about the audience. A lot of times in art, you know, to make things authentic, you say the audience comes last. Rick Rubin says that. And I agree. And also, here's the thing. Your audience, as an identity-based creator, as a personality-based creator, your audience is a mirror of you. It is a reflection of you. That means that your audience is a past version of yourself. That is just how the world works. You attract what you are. And so your audience online, whether you have that audience yet or not, is going to be some reflection of who you once were. So this is exciting news, because even if you don't have an audience yet, you can get insight into who that audience is, how you want to speak to them, how you can communicate with that audience, because you can tap in and think about, who was I 5 years ago? What are these experiences I've overcome? And as you talk about these things, naturally, you are going to attract that audience. Now, the second piece, the second element to your audience is that you have to create content that people want to watch if you want your content to be successful at the end of the day. You want it to be aligned and authentic, and you also want to make stuff that people want to watch. That's just how, like I said, we're in the entertainment business. That's just how it works. You got to have the audience factor. You have to understand the supply and demand of how content works. There are certain formats, there's certain content that people just want to see, that people watch. And so you want to get clear first on your identity piece, so that when you go into, okay, now what about me is authentic that can also fit with my audience? Where is the overlap? That is where the creativity comes in here. Because the easy thing to do would be to look and say, okay, this week silly cat videos are trending, so I'm gonna make some silly cat videos, even though I hate cats, but it's trending. That would be the easy route, okay? The creative, challenging, fun, problem-solving route would be, okay, something to do with cats is trending. Now there's this authentic piece of me. Maybe I don't like house cats, but I like cheetahs and leopards. It's a weird example, but so now I'm going to take this trend and I'm going to tweak it and change it to what's unique to me. And boom, you have created something quote unquote new, quote unquote original, and aligned and authentic to you. So when we're talking about the audience pillar, we are talking about understanding the landscape, understanding what your audience likes to watch. This could also be, in many instances, what you like to watch as a consumer, because you have been a consumer on some level. So pay attention to your own behaviors, and it can help inform the type of content that maybe you want to make, because you are interested in it. You understand the audience behavior of the people watching that type of content. That's one way to go about it when we're taking this, audience as a reflection of ourselves approach. And the reason this piece can be so challenging is because as humans, we are wired to seek validation. We are wired to seek validation, and we are wired to lead with the external, which is what's going to get me the most views, what's going to boost my ego the most, what's going to make me feel the best. And so we're naturally inclined to go towards that first. That's exactly how my journey started. I had viral content doing certain things, and I just ran with that. I didn't know if that's what I wanted. I didn't know if it was what it was aligned with me. I was just doing it because it was working and because I was getting a crazy amount of external validation. It doesn't mean it's bad, but you want to be aware, and this is why I always lead with the you and your identity pillar first, because you have to know that part first. Otherwise, you'll get lost in the sauce of the external validation. The platforms are built to be addicting. They are built to tap into that part of your brain and get you addicted to posting. So you have to know that, and you have to be aware of it, because you as the creator need to remain in control. Now, moving on to the last pillar, your business. This is, how do I monetize? How do I make this a career? How do I build that financial and creative freedom? And it is by making money. That is how our society is built. So we have to figure out, how can you as a creator monetize your skill set? Guess what? You already did the digging here on the you pillar, hypothetically speaking. You understand who you are, your identity, your skill set, what makes you unique. Now you think, okay, how can I monetize that skill set that I've identified? The reality is I could do a full episode on each of these pillars. And to be honest with you, I have a course on all of them, like an in-depth deep dive, because each pillar is its own journey and transformation. But in this business piece, you have to learn a lot of the technical aspects. You have to understand entrepreneurship or freelancing, whatever approach you want to take. You have to know how you're going to make a living and how it's going to fit in with your content, how your content's going to funnel to that business, how it's all going to connect. So this business piece is a lot more technical, a lot more in depth that we can't really get into today in this episode. But just from a high level, understand that all three of these pieces are crucial to your success as a full-time creator. Now, you can be a hobbyist if you want. Totally fine. If you just want this to be a creative outlet, cool. But if you want this to be the thing that creates freedom for you, the thing that pays the bills, you gotta have a way of making money. Now, I have a course called The Art of Content Creation, which is that first step that really dives deep into pillar one, you and your identity. I did one cohort a few months ago, and I'm going to be running another cohort in January. There is a wait list, so if you want to join, I'll put the link in the description. But this is built to guide you through that journey of figuring out what your identity is as a creator, because it is deep, challenging work. And I know that because I have lived it and experienced it myself, and now I have seen other creatives and business owners and creators live and experience it themselves. And the group support, the group dynamic is what makes this such a beautiful transformation. So if that's something that would help you on your journey, go ahead and join the waitlist. I'll be sending out more info on it soon. And the course goes way, 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 way deeper than we went in pillar one. Like, there are pillars on pillars on pillars. There are pieces within each of these pillars, right? And so this course covers that first you, and it takes you from unclear on who you are, what you're creating, what you want to say, to clear, confident, and posting consistently. So if you want that transformation, join us. I would love to have you. If not, hit subscribe so you can catch the next episode. I love putting this content out for free so that everybody can access and learn and go on this journey themselves as well. I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments what you thought about today's episode, what you want to see next, and I'll see you guys in the next one.